these young people decided to start this initiative that they call Moniepoint. Actually, they started in 2015. Now, a very interesting thing happened, which you could describe as ordinarily tragic, but it turned it into something that is called Moniepoint today. All right. So for starts, I would like a couple of you to share what are your wins? What are your wins? What are your successes so far in Financial Fitness Challenge? How has your life, your finances, your relationship been different since you joined the Financial Fitness Challenge? What are your wins? So we'd like to have a couple of you share with us. Okay, just raise your hand and then I'll call you and then you can share with us. What are your wins? What are you learning? How are your ideas about money, perspective about life changing? How is that helping you to become less anxious about money, about life? So let's have a couple of you share. Just raise your hand and then you can share. All right. Okay. So Felicia, yeah, let's go with you first.
Thank you, Coach. Good evening, and good evening, everyone. I would say that the Financial Fitness Challenge has been a blessing for me. My mindset has shifted in terms of how I relate with money. One of the major things that have changed is that I now have a system. For when money comes in, I know exactly where it is going. That
Okay.
has never been the case before now. There was no clarity, everything was hazy, everything was muddled up. But now I know the different buckets to which these monies go, and it's been an amazing experience for me. I'm still learning. I don't get to join the sessions every night, but I watch the after plays, I watch the replays, and a lot of life-changing ideas and information in there. So again, I say it's been a blessing being here. I thank you for your sacrifice because honestly, there's no amount of money that can can how do I put it? No amount of money, that one could have paid to access the kind of sterling, golden knowledge that you're giving out every day almost for free. I pray that God will continue to replenish you. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you
It's a
very much.
great ride.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, Felicia. I appreciate that. All right. Do we have any other hand up yet? Yeah. So for me it's what people would call a ministry because I'm basically sharing my life journey. The first half of my life was very, very chaotic, financially speaking. And I discovered that so many people, 35 years and above, in the second half of their lives, are having very chaotic journeys with money, very chaotic journeys. Some people have some measure of grip on their spiritual lives, on their physical lives, on their relationships, but their money, the relationship with their finances are terrible, just like mine was. And then I watched myself become totally unrecognizable in only 3 years. It's not even up to 5 years. I started what I'm doing now to teach you. And I have seen myself start from literally nothing to where I am dealing with 9 figures within 3 years. 9 figures. I know it's not dollars yet, but 9 figures in any currency, within 3 years. So what I wasn't able to do in 30 years, I found myself able to do in 3 years. So that's why every day I can't wait to share what I'm learning. Because when you watch all those videos or you listen to me like you're listening to me tonight, you can tell that this is not something from textbook. It's a journey. I am so mystified, so surprised at what is happening in my own life at 60 that I can't keep it to myself, but share it, and I only encourage all of you in the financial fitness challenge to follow the process. I see that many of us are in a hurry, we are not patient, and then I look at some of the attitudes of impatience, from the comments in the group and things like that, but follow the process. Follow the process. When I tell you do this, just do because it's a journey I'm on. I'm not copying anything from textbooks to tell you. I'm amazed that in 3 years, what could happen in 3 years? that I couldn't do in 30 years. Okay, so let's take a couple more. Thank you very much, Felicia. So let's go with Augustine Damigoro.
Hello, good evening, Coach, and good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your impact in our lives. I joined last year, May cohort, and since then, I have gotten the clarity I needed for my finances. And that is one thing that I came out of that training with. And the hunger to learn has just been there. And over time, some of the wins I've had from May when I started, I think I just invested about 100K then. But so far, I've been able to raise my portfolio to millions. And I also try to engage myself with the everyday money concept. Although it has not been very consistent, but at least in a week, I do something does come in. And it has been very helpful for me. Then
Good.
one thing that I've learned in all this process is discipline and delay gratification. Things that I would have wanted to get as a result of impulse buying. I've learned to curtail all my urges. And I'm very happy for that. And I
Excellent.
remember the last time we had a cohort in May, I made a promise that I was going to show up every day you show up, Coach. And I think I've
Fantastic.
kept so far my promise.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Coach. I
Fantastic. You're
appreciate it.
very welcome. And then if you listen to Felicia and Augustine, there's one particular word that they mentioned. I don't know if anybody picked the particular word that they mentioned. That word is clarity, because clarity is everything. You know, the reason many of us have the sort of financial struggles that we have is that we don't have clarity. We don't have clarity around our money. What's coming, what's going, where is it going? We don't have clarity around our purpose, because purpose is so important, knowing why you are here. We don't have clarity around relationships. And the moment you start getting clarity, you will see some kind of focusing that gives you incredible results. Just imagine starting with 100K portfolio in less than 1 year. The 100K has turned into millions. That's amazing. That's what clarity does. And that's actually one of my um, core purposes, for or core agenda, for you, that you should just have clarity. The moment you have clarity around what you're doing, you don't even need me anymore, because you can do a lot of things by yourself. Thank you, Augustine. Okay, let's take Okon, and then we take Thomas and take Jude, and then we'll proceed from there. Okay, Okon, we can unmute.
Yeah, good evening, Coach. Good evening, everyone.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for this great work that you're doing for each and one of us. I hold you in very high esteem for this, because when you look around the country, there is no one doing what you are doing, especially at the niche in which you are spearheading. So I just want to use the opportunity to say thank you so much. For me, just as every other person has said, I think, as you said, the watchword is clarity. Because with clarity, it's easy to make decisions even when they are tough. But when you don't have clarity, a lot of doubts and other things can override your motivation to take the right steps and to act despite this or the prevailing circumstances around you. So I think clarity is very key. Then for me particularly, I think my relationship with money, all the way down psychologically deep into my subconscious, has kind of I'm trying to reframe it from a place of fear to a place of abundance.
Hmm.
Because while I was in paid employment, I remember one setting day I was coming back from work and just couldn't help but notice the way I was thinking was always there was not enough money.
Hmm.
So even when I came out of paid employment and tried to work on my own business, I always still had that relationship that there was not enough money. But when you go around, the reality is there's just too much money flowing.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Oh.
that observation kind of dug deep inside me, that almost every week I'm reading consistently to override that template, that program in my psychology, that there's not enough money.
Hmm.
So my biggest wins for taking those steps has been number one. I've been able to take I did 2 plunges into the stock market from your tip, and how it happened, only God knows how it happened. The first one was with tips. I did on the last day. I bought in on the last day. And just as you said, when you have a strong desire, money just from nowhere appears. You won't believe it. I had my first major big sum come into me after I had entered tip. So I was able to do the second round far higher than what I did with tip. How the money came, it's somebody was owing me for over 2 years and just brought it at the right time. So I just want to say thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Excellent. You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Yeah, and thanks for confirming that experience, because that's my experience. Like, I sincerely don't know how I went from where I was in December of 2023 when I started this challenge, for myself, to where I am today. And so when I keep saying that, when they hunger to invest, when they hunger to delay gratification and to invest, when it's very hot, the money appears. The money appears. It's just so humbling, for me. I look around and I don't know, where did all this money come from? But there's hunger to invest. There's hunger to accomplish my purpose. There's hunger to help people. There's hunger to teach people what I'm learning, not to hoard it, not to gatekeep it. And then that hunger is bringing the money to invest. And then you're going to see a lot more of that today. Okay, so we have 2 more, Thomas, and then after that, Jude. And we proceed from there. Thomas, on mute. Okay, please.
I would say I still want to appreciate you for all you have been doing. Since I joined the Financial Fitness Challenge, it has been wonderful in my life. My orientation and mentality about money really changed. Now I can be able to know how I spend money, even keeping daily record of how money enters my hands and how it goes. And my feelings about life has changed. That even now I'm no longer afraid, especially when you listen to your YouTube, when you tell us about how to prepare for our demise. That really touched my mind, and it has helped me that even today, even though anything happens, I'm no longer afraid how my children, my wife, we get out for the steps.
Fantastic.
It has helped me to maintain that. And now I no longer look at people like what you say, one of the YouTube teaching about not living to impress anybody.
Exactly.
I just focus on what I am doing. I sincerely want to thank you and the help that is coming from this community. Sincerely appreciate everyone. But the challenge I am having, I'm not too good in computer. That is a big challenge. So it's sometimes reducing my speed. But I believe that I will catch up by the grace of God.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
You're welcome, Thomas. Yes, don't worry, you will catch up. When we start, it's usually like that for many of us. But the powerful thing about the community, like you said, and especially the Financial Fitness Challenge community, like many of you have already discovered, is a very helpful community. People are very helpful. People ask questions and then others answer it. And so I always encourage people to ask their questions, no matter how, because we in that community we have people at different levels of experience. And so people should not feel shy to say that they don't know or to ask for help. Whenever you do, somebody will always come, as you've discovered, to help. And then at the end of the session, we will have a question and answer session, and then we can bring up the challenges we have, and then we get a chance to speak to them. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's have the last hand up. Jude, I believe that's you. Techno POV or something. Is that Jude? We can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, coach.
Yeah, good evening. Your audio is very low. Are you using headset or something? Could you speak directly to the microphone?
I want to sincerely appreciate you, Coach, for all that you do for humanity. I joined towards the end of last year, around October, November, thereabout. But since then, I can truly see the place of mentorship. Honestly, I've been working for like 17 years now. I just like how I wish I've come across this of this year. Because with the level of progress success so far, if I come across this, maybe the last 2, 3 years, maybe it would have been somewhere or better. However, thank God for coming to know this. So I want to really appreciate you and everyone in the Financial Fitness Challenge group for all their contributions, all their knowledge sharing. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so let me share my screen and okay, so today I'm going to take you through some big ideas, and then after that we can have a one-on-one. So this is a check-in, monthly check-in, something I'm starting this year, so that once every month we have a Zoom call where we can discuss, the challenges we are having, where I can also bring in some new information that can help you to grow your wealth, to take care of yourself and your family, and God's purpose for your life. Okay. I think I like what Kohn shared with us, because he was talking about the abundance mindset. The abundance mindset is a very powerful prerequisite for growing wealth, because you cannot grow wealth out of scarcity. And what you want to do is every day look around for stories around you. Look around for stories. Go to the NGX website, go to Wall Street, go to Forbes. Look for stories that challenge your thinking. Look for stories, look for things happening in real life, in the real world, that actually show you the possibilities, because everything is possible. And then it does not matter how old you are. It's not late. You can accomplish in 3 years what you couldn't do in 30 years. And I know that we've had a couple of members in their 70s. I remember 3 people in their 70s who are part of this program. And at 75, 76, it's not late, because what makes money is not really time. It's not even primarily energy. What creates wealth is consciousness. It's not time. That's why if the consciousness comes to you at 80, you can do at 80 years of age what 1,000 young people in their 30s or 40s couldn't do. You can do at 80 years of age. It's true. Your energy, the body might not be like what it is, but consciousness is much more important than anything. And then when I talk about consciousness, I'm talking about the abundance consciousness. The abundance consciousness. There is abundance. There's truly, something I say with a lot of care, or a lot of caution in public, but there's actually absolutely no reason that anybody should be poor in the planet. But unfortunately, systems have been created that force people to be poor by default. And then, but you need to actually get yourself out of the matrix, because you can't defeat that system. They said, go to school, get a good degree, come out, look for a job and start working, and then you retire, you go on pension. That's a loser game. That's a loser game. Or they've also created a system where you only earn money once in a month, 12 times in a year, 365 days, and you only earn money 12 days out of 365. That system is wicked. That system is rigged against you. And so it's the awakening of what's actually possible that allows you to go from ground zero where you are. It does not matter. Please, I want to keep telling all of you, it does not matter where your background is. It does not matter what your mistakes were in the past. It does not matter how much money you lost. Like I lost money in Nospetco and Wealth Zone to 2007, $100,000 of equivalent of family savings. It's a lot of money lost, but that is in the past. So it does not matter what, how careless you've been with money in the past, but now you're here. What matters is the decisions and the choices that you make today. What matters is the consciousness that you train, that you engineer within yourself. What matters is that you engineer yourself out of small thinking, out of scarcity mentality into abundance. You can do it. You can do it. You know, I was telling you people in the group today about First Hold Co, that's First Bank. And I said, don't sell it. People are panic selling because First Bank had gone all the way up to 50 something. I think it's like, I don't know what it closed on today, like 41, 40 something. So people are dumping. You know, that is still investing from a scarcity mindset. But see, if you have the abundance consciousness, it makes a whole lot of difference. I'm actually waiting for it to fall well enough to begin to accumulate more. And while we're talking about it, Femi Otedola, the billionaire, acquired 3.8 billion more shares of the First Bank. Doesn't that tell you something? So scarcity-minded people are quitting, they are running. And then this billionaire, the billionaire is putting his money there. And then one of the things you really want to learn is where billionaires are putting their money. You can't go wrong because these people see things that we don't see. So people are running away from First Bank because they made that cosmetic loss of 70% or something, whatever, because they had to address the debt they've been carrying of 700 and something billion. And so the thing fascinated me. That's why I say look out for stories every single day, stories that solidify your abundance thoughts, that solidifies your abundance consciousness. So I want to share one of those that I saw within the week, or a couple of days, with you to help set the stage for the kind of money. I'm really challenging everybody in this group to make nothing less than 10 times the portfolio you started with in January. It's doable. And it's not by gambling. It's actually by mindset. It's by the things I'm going to show you this evening. So think big. How many of you, well, it's sort of a funny question because everybody knows Moniepoint. But what I don't know is how many of you have looked at Moniepoint's 2025 review. So this is one of those stories that you want to marinate on for a couple of reasons. Because these are two young men. They are Nigerians. I know we have people from different parts of Africa, but these concepts and the principles are the same. There are also equivalents in your countries to the concepts I'm sharing. Some of you are joining from the United States and UK. These young people decided to start this initiative that they call Moniepoint. Actually, they started in 2015. I think they used to work for another organization. I'm trying to remember the Interswitch or so. Okay. So in 2015, these two young people, Tosin and Felix Ike, started what they call Team Apt. And their initial vision was to create infrastructure to support the traditional banking system. Now, a very interesting thing happened, which you could describe as ordinarily tragic, but it turned it into something that is called Moniepoint today. Sterling Bank canceled a contract that they had with them because they were providing these services for the traditional banks. So they canceled their major contract, which literally took them out of business. Then they pivoted to fintech, to Moniepoint, what it is today. And then in 2022, they got microfinance bank license. And from that time, they said the rest is history, what these people have started doing. In 2022, they were named as having the best agency banking network in Nigeria by the central bank. In 2023, their impact was not just within Nigeria, but Financial Times listed Moniepoint as the second fastest growing company in Africa. Two young men, they didn't jabba, they didn't do anything. Not that there's anything wrong with jabba, but right in the place where there's a lot of scarcity and problems. 2025, last year, Time magazine recognized Moniepoint as one of the 100 most influential companies in the world. In the world. And this thing is happening just at our backyard. So people look at stories like this and they just float through and then they just read it and then go. But not me. Not me. There's a whole lot to draw into this. And then when we talk about building wealth, it's much more than just investing in the stock market. It's actually, first of all, our mindset. And then, of course, investing becomes part of it and all that. So look at their performance in 2025. This is mind-boggling. Moniepoint processed total transaction value of 412 trillion naira. And then the transaction volume was over 14 billion individual transactions compared to 5.2 billion in 2023. Can you see that growth? Their market share, almost 80%, or about 80% of all POS payments in Nigeria. That is massive. And then they also say that they disbursed over 1 trillion naira in loans to small and medium enterprises in 2025 alone. 1 trillion naira. Think big. They have other channels. They have a gateway, Monify, which PayPal is coming in now to try to, because PayPal has seen that the Nigerian market is extremely lucrative. So they are coming in now through Paga to take a cut of it. You see what one firm did. One firm started by two young Nigerians. So they processed additional 25 trillion. That is amazing. That is amazing. This is the sort of thing that should catch your notice, your attention. And they gave us some more breakdown of what actually happened. And so take a look here. The 41 trillion or 412 trillion, they gave us some breakdown. Okay, so they gave us some breakdown of where all these transfers came from. So before I begin to share my insights, I want you to look at this information. Just type something in the chat section, something that hits you. What does this tell you? This is what these people made in 1 year. They said approximately 3% of all transfers made in 2025 were for church, for tithe. That should tell you something. 3% of those trillions. Okay. Now, they said every day in 2025, Nigerians spent over 8 billion naira at restaurants with Moniepoint. And then there were two particular restaurants they said carried most of the transactions. Item 7 and Yakoyo. They were the favorite places that people ate. Let me move my little camera. Continue to share. Let me move this a little bit. It's blocking there. Okay. Now, then they said, oops. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, just a second. Okay, here we are. Okay. So they now said that, oh, come on, continue to share. Okay, so they now say that bread, that Nigerians spent 1.6 7 trillion naira at bakeries in 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Then they said, Dirty December, you kept the party going all year. We processed 3 transactions every second at a bar, club, or lounge in 2025. That's like over 90 million times. Say let's say 3 transactions every second during the Dirty December. Then this one actually made me very hopeful. Books. The money we helped Nigerians process for book purchases was enough to buy over 31 million copies of Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. And then he said Nigerians spent 90 million naira at gyms every day in 2025. Please pause. Tell me what you see. Just tell me the thoughts that come to your head. Everybody. I'm going to read it out. When you see this, because we're talking about wealth creation. This is wealth creation 101. This is data. They didn't make these things up in their head. Can you imagine 1.7 trillion on bread and cake and all things like that? What comes to your mind, everybody? Everybody. Okay, Felicia says leakages. Okay, Francis says abundance, indeed. In Nigeria. Yeah. Iso says there is too much money. Look at the screen. Go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me what's coming to your mind. Okay.
Too much consumption.
So Jude says, restaurant and bakery are good business. Very good. Chukwebuka says opportunities. HB says investment. Abundance in hidden places. Victor says abundance mentality. Yes. Okay. Okon says special data for investment niche opportunities. Amazing. Yeah. Chidema says consumption. And you are all right. It's actually mind-blowing to me. So let's take them one after the other. Like you already noticed, the Moniepoint review proves one thing beyond reasonable doubt, that there's money everywhere. 412 trillion naira in transactions. There's money everywhere. But you know what? Wealth belongs to those who pause, pattern sport, and position themselves. See, like what I just told you. People just see this sort of information because it's out there. They see this information and they just pass. But the people who pause to actually do what we are doing tonight, they're the people who build wealth, because you need to actually sit down and debrief this thing and meditate. Think about what you're seeing there. Ordinary citizens like us, just came up from nowhere and they are creating this kind of value. Okay? So 2026 is not a year to hustle harder. I'm not a hustle person. I preach against hustling. If you must hustle, maybe after leaving school and you hustle for a year, maybe max 2 years, but to hustle constantly for 10 years, 15, 20 years, no, something is wrong. That would be a sign of lack of systems, of lack of structures, or lack of strategic thinking. So instead, with this kind of information that Moniepoint has given us, this is a year to redirect, to reposition, to own, to systemize, and to multiply. And I'm going to show you how all this will work out. Okay, so insight number 1, like some of you already noticed, this misallocation. What we have in this part of the world is not poverty. Nigeria is not poor. Nigeria is not broke. Nigeria is not broke. Even without the Moniepoint data, I go to some of these massive supermarkets across different cities. My, oh my. Nigerians can drink, whether it's in Lagos or it's in Benin or it's in Enugu or it's in Abakaliki or all these, Abuja. I see that when people are leaving these big supermarkets in there and carrying their carts, pushing the carts to their cars at the motor park. What is one thing you see in most carts? I see lots of alcohol, lots of expensive wine, cans of beer, all kinds of drinks. I sat in one. I just sat at the in the car park, watching people push things. Like I said, do we really drink this much? There was a time many years ago, that Statista brought out a statistic, that Nigerians spent $5 billion in beer that year. And people were saying, no, it's not possible. People drink. People drink. There are people who drink 3, 4, 5 bottles of beer a day. I knew a man who was doing that. I had to confront him one day because every time he closed work, you go there, drink with his friends till 11. And I said, you're a married man and you have children. Your wife takes the child to school, comes back, the child doesn't see you, goes to bed. The mother does homework and I said to him, this is the best time to bond with your daughter and with your sons. And you are here drinking till 11. I was asking him how many bottles. He said 5 to 7 bottles of beer every single day. So you see, poverty, I don't understand it. So when I say it's a curse, it's not something spiritual. It's when you look at it, you see that poverty it sounds very unkind to say. It sounds very unkind to say because I know that there are people, it's not their making. I'm not saying that it's their making, but people like this man I'm talking about is deserved. Is deserved. I was asking how much is a bottle of beer or something. Somebody said it's about 1,000 naira for one. And this guy drinks 5,000, 6,000, 6 cans, 6 bottles a day. He works hard. I don't know whether he's a manager somewhere. And then he comes, with his bodies. They are drinking, they're watching Arsenal and Man U and things like that. This actually happened in Enugu. And I say you're not setting up yourself for a very good future. You're not bonding with these children. You're not there. And then you think they go to bed, they don't see you. In the morning, you still have your hangover. And then they go to school, no connection, nothing with the children. Now, when you grow old, you become 70, 75. You are complaining that your daughter doesn't visit you. You're complaining that your son doesn't call you. When did you build that relationship? So Nigeria is not broke. And I know that I have some of my sisters and brothers from Cameroon here. And then you can also, because I hear that in some parts of Cameroon, that by 9 o'clock, people are already drunk, like drunk. So money is misallocated. It's not that we are broke. Money is misallocated. Trillions spent on food, on restaurants, on lifestyle, on fitness, books, and then, faith. Trillion. So the problem is not scarcity. It is directional failure. So what can you do with this? What does this mean to you? So stop asking, how do I earn more? I think you should start asking, where is my money already going unconsciously? One of you was telling us the other day during one of our sessions that you buy, is it Hennessy? You called it. I asked how much you buy Hennessy, and he said 55,000. I forgot to ask how frequently. So even if it's 55,000 a week, and he buys the Hennessy and he finishes it 55, even if it's 1 bottle a week, that's over 200K in 1 month. Goodness gracious me. You give me 55,000 naira a week. What I will do with it in 3 years, you will not believe it. My goodness. I'm even talking about 3 years. 55,000 naira a week. So you should ask yourself, where is your money already going unconsciously? Because one of the things that have happened to me in this past 3 to 10 years is actually answering that question. I am very, very meticulous about where my money goes. Every 1 kobo, very meticulous about where it goes. So you need to create your personal money redirection list because it's not possible to grow wealth when you are wasteful. It's not possible to grow wealth when you can't control the way your cash is flowing. Okay? So redirect at least 20% of your money into assets. I'm in a place where I would say I redirect 90% of what comes. 90% of what, in fact, what I do in my own case, I redirect because I've already told my money ahead of time where to go. So they go there. I only spend what is left. I told you once that one of the main differences between the wealthy and the poor people or people struggling with money is that the poor people spend first and then they invest what is left or save what is left. Wealthy people invest first and then spend what is left. These little shifts are important because those are the shifts I made that changed everything. I invest first. I invest first. I bought an asset in the stock market today that I've been studying for some time. That asset is no, not VFD. I got VFD. That asset is NGX Group. That's the ticker in the Nigerian stock market. I've been studying it, and then I see that I bought today at 85 naira something. I bought a couple of that. Over the weekend, I did some research and found that that is a stock to have. That's an asset to have in my portfolio. So some money came in, and I made my money play. I developed my money play for Monday, which is today. And then I said, okay, this will happen, and all that. So the money came in. Money came in over the weekend. Oh my, it was crazy. I just literally transferred everything. I transferred more than, in fact, first of all, I transferred because I got Presco today. Presco is a stock I want to buy every day, every single day, at least 100 every single day for the whole year. And then, of course, sometimes I do more, but at least 100 of Presco every day, no matter the price. So I transferred to Presco to do Presco, and then it remained a little. I said, okay, I need to do more NGX. I transferred. It was when I was moving that one, I was like, oh my God, I need to buy fuel today for the generator and for my truck. I need to do that. I need to do this and all that. So it was after. Now, if I hadn't transferred that money to buy that asset that eventually produced cash, do you know that money would have gone? Guess what? I still got fuel for my diesel generator, which is what I'm using right now. I still bought fuel for my diesel generator, still bought fuel for my diesel truck. So wealthy people invest first and then spend what is left. Poor people spend first and then invest if ever anything is left. But by the time they finish spending, nothing is left. So that shift is very important. Insight number 2, follow demand, not ideas. There's a piece of advice that people often give to young people. That's not exactly so. Some of us follow that advice and it didn't work for us. People would tell you, follow your passion. As you're coming out of school, as a common piece of advice they give young people, follow your passion. But that piece of advice is not complete. It's well intended, but it's not complete because, you will discover very quickly that passion doesn't feed you. So don't follow passion, follow demand, follow what it is that the market really wants, because you are going to be rewarded for your value in the marketplace. You're not going to be rewarded for your passion. So passion is good. So you're very lucky if you find the intersection between your passion and the market, then that's fine. But what I'm seeing from the Moniepoint report is that the market is already telling you what to sell. And the many of us are complaining we don't have money to invest. So when I come to the group and I tell you, oh, buy NGX Group, it's a great opportunity. Or I see another one, I say, buy more First Hold Co. if it falls. Or I see another one and I tell you, oh, there's a buying opportunity right now in VFD Group. Actually, VFD Group is quite good. And then you come to say, somebody says, oh, okay, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money to invest in all these assets you are sharing with us. If you don't have enough money, sell. You make money by selling things. You can sell your way out of any financial challenge that you're having right now. No school fees, sell. House rent problem, sell. You want to build a house, sell. You want to travel abroad, sell. Sell something. And then the market is already telling you what to buy, what to sell. Who would have imagined? Bread, books, faith. So that is an important insight. What does this mean for you? Choose one positioning to play. It could be distribution. There's a lot of people, they create value. They create an asset, they write a book and all that, but they don't have a way to distribute it. Distribution also involves, starting a channel, like a YouTube channel, like your Instagram channel, like your WhatsApp, where you can sell dried fish, you can sell honey, Like I sell honey. And in fact, honey is now available. We should start distributing our honey next week. It could be aggregation. So creating a platform that where you can, that's one young man in Jos, and I think a lot of people are doing it. There's one young man in Lagos. He has a WhatsApp group that has a couple of hundreds of women from other parts of the country, Southeast, Southwest. Now, Jos has literally all kinds of food and fruits that you can think about. Tomatoes, peppers, strawberry, carrot, and all that. And so this young man became an aggregator. And so people order for these things from different parts of the country and he ships to them. He's making a lot of money doing that. So choose one position to play. It could be infrastructure. Okay, so if you're techie, you can provide an infrastructure to be able to do something. Seller is one of those infrastructures, and you don't have to build one. You can play on infrastructure like Seller. Now that PayPal is here, if you get over your anger with PayPal, you can use their infrastructure to collect payments. So that is what that means to you. Number 3, spending data is an investment map. Okay, it's related to what I just shared with you. So smart investors do not judge how people are behaving. So it's not your business that people are spending so much on even wine or bread or restaurants and things like that. Just front run it. That's what they want. Because in fact, there's something they call stupid money. A lot of people have money and they must spend it mindlessly. So front run it. And wherever there's opportunity, wherever spending repeats, my goodness, ownership, wealth, it hides under those repetitive opportunities. So your job is to own the structure beneath the consumption. So don't be just the consumer. Own the infrastructure. So ask of every expense, who owns the quiet layer? What does that mean? If you fund an industry monthly, you must own a piece of it. So I have several examples of how I implemented this rule. One is I use the telephone every day. And when I'm not in my residence to use my Starlink, I must have mobile data. So I buy data and I buy voice every day. So instead of just being a buyer or a consumer of mobile data, why not own the company? That's why I invest heavily in the telecommunications. That's why I also invest heavily in the banks. I don't just want to be using the bank apps and then the banks will be charging me. I want to own it so that I will do business with my business. Do you understand that? I do business with my business. So anytime the bank charges me, I'm also making money. Anytime the bank charges you, I make money, so I don't complain. So that's what that means to you. So instead of quarreling, oh, they are charging me too much, own it. Own that bank, own that telecommunications company. Okay, I can't emphasize this 4th insight enough because Moniepoint just so makes it so exemplary. I keep talking about everyday money, but in any case, your salary is episodic, just 12 times in the year. If you work in a good company, they probably pay you what they call 13th month. So salary is episodic, but wealth is transactional. So salary just happens in episodes, but wealth can go on daily. So there are millions of daily transactions that Moniepoint processed 90 something billion or something like that, billion transactions. Look at people were buying drinks and all kinds of things in lounges and bars during Dirty December, and they were processing three transactions per second. So the thing is, at what end of the transaction are you? Because you can see, like in that picture, somebody is holding the POS, and then another one is holding the card. Who is richer, the owner of the POS or the owner of the card? So what does this mean to you? What does this insight mean to you? Just give me a second. I'm not sure what's going on here. Just a second. Oops. Okay, it's a little glitch. Okay, so what does it mean to you? Build at least one daily money system in 2026. I can't emphasize that enough. And then Augustine mentioned in his testimonial that that is something he's been working on. Continue to work on it. Mine took years to where I am today, where I make money every single day. But it took me years to actually set it up because I heard the concept of everyday money from my real estate mentor for the first time in 2015. So this is 10 years. And then he just said everyday money. And I said, wait a minute. So it's possible to earn money every day. You know why? Because we spend money every day. We are debited every day. So you might, and then you earn money only once in the month if you're a salaried employee. So I thought that didn't make sense. That's part of the matrix. That's part of the system that is designed to work against you. So I want everyone in the Financial Fitness Challenge group to challenge yourself to earn money every day. That's where to start. Then you advance to my stage where you must earn money every day in your local currency and also in one foreign currency, like the US dollars. Now, it's not about the volume. It's not about how much it is. So like I earn every day, it's not a lot of money, but I'm telling you, that's the most powerful thing in personal finance, earning money every day, daily sales. So you can sell something every day. You can take cue from this report to find what is it that I can sell every day. Where can I earn daily commissions? Where can I earn daily interest? How can I earn daily content monetization? Like I'm paid for content every day and is in dollars. So one system changes your financial psychology forever. This is important, daily money system. Insight number 5, Moniepoint insight number 5, consumption without ownership. So you can see people eat, they drink, they pray, they read, and they exercise, but very few people own anything. So consumption without ownership is the biggest undoing of the middle class. Consumption, we don't own anything. We consume transportation, we consume television, we consume Netflix, we consume European championships. What's the other one? Is it La Liga they call it? We consume basketball. What does America call their own? Super Bowl. We consume all those things. Can you imagine? People consume soccer, all kinds of championships, but they don't own anything. They are there watching other people's lives. Each time Messi comes there to play, or Cristiano Ronaldo, those are the ones I remember. You know, I think I know Neymar Jr., because I don't follow those things. But anytime they make appearance in the field, they are paid tens of millions of dollars. And you watch, and you're paid nothing. In fact, you pay to watch them. Why not restructure your life in such a way that people should pay to watch you? Own something. Because consumption without ownership is the destruction of the middle class. What does this mean to you? Convert your lifestyle into leverage. Add ownership to every major spending category. Food, how can you own something? Because if you must eat every day, you should own something. I own a farm. And it not only produces all the food that my family can eat in the year, all of it, and yam that we can eat, it's enough to also sell to other people, to produce for other people. Own something. Own something, you know? So I like mangoes. So I've planted mango trees. I like coconut. I've planted coconut. In fact, I traveled all the way to Ghana because Ghana has, I think perhaps one of the sweetest species of coconut in the West African area. I traveled there and then imported some coconut trees, from Ghana and planted because I like it. I don't want to just be buying coconut all the time. I want to produce all the coconut. At least I can eat in the. So add ownership to every major spending category. You consume transportation. You may not necessarily own a car because a car can be a very serious liability, but you might own a company that leases cars, Square Motors. What's the other one? RT Briscoe. You can own something that makes cars. You can own yours as well. Okay. Stocks, equity, platforms, cash flowing assets. Never be a permanent spectator in an industry that you fund. You're just funding industries, funding food industries, funding manufacturing. You use soap every day. That's why I liked the first network marketing company I was introduced to and I belonged to. I was around 2002, 2003. It was Amway in the United States. It was called Quickstar at the time. So I was introduced to it, during one of my projects in New York. And one of the things I loved very much about, Quickstar was that literally everything you use, from waking up to going to bed, they had them. So you buy from the business, and as you're buying from the business, you're also earning some points. I remember the pots we bought, from them. The pots we're using today, extremely high quality pots. So you buy, and it's not only discounted, but at the same time, you earn points. And so that's where I got that mindset. You should own, you should not be a permanent spectator in an industry that you fund. Insight number 6, your bank statement is your real curriculum. It's not just a record. People look at it as a record. Your bank statement is actually a diagnosis. Do you know your bank statements can tell you, it can review your habits very easily. Review your fears, review your priorities, review your patterns. That's what's happened, when I was a 9-to-5 person and I was earning a lot of salary, but then I never knew where the money went. At the end of the month, I'll be asking myself, where did the money go? In fact, by the second, third week, we're already looking for, we used to call it, whenever they pay the salary, I think it used to be 24th of every month, then with the oil company I was working with. And we'll be asking, has the rain fallen? We'll be asking each other, that particular 24th of the morning, has the rain fallen? Has the rain fallen? We ask each other. Such a terrible life. And so that money comes. And then by 15th of the month or the 16th day of the month, you're already checking the calendar for when the rain will fall. Oh, it's terrible. So, but when I now sat down and looked at my spending habits, I was shocked. The spending pattern I found. And at that time, it wasn't even as easy as it is today because we didn't have all these fintech apps then. We didn't have the sort of internet banking that we have today, where you can actually download your bank statement and take a look. In those days, you had to physically go to the bank and then they'll print out the whole thing for you. But just making notes of my spending pattern was the deliverance I needed. I was shocked the insane amount of money I spent on banana and groundnuts. I was shocked by the insane amount of money I spent in a fast food restaurant in those days, eating junk, which we don't eat anymore. So your bank statement is actually your curriculum. You need to take a look at it a little bit more. And then in a future episode, I'll show you how to use AI to analyze your bank statement like an accountant will do for you and to find insights, because it reviews your habits, your fears, your patterns, your priorities. What does this mean to you? Download, on your phone using your fintech app, print your last 90 days of transactions, and then cycle repeated payments and then emotional spending. This will set you free. Because the truth is that many of us have money, but because the money is misdirected, like we have seen, we don't know that we have money. To secure that, identify where you're having lifestyle leaks, and then identify monetizable patterns. This document is your 2026 wealth syllabus. So everybody should create their own personal 2026 wealth syllabus. Okay. Just in summary, this is the year that you stop chasing money, start standing where it passes. Because you see, there are, if you like, two hemispheres for the smart investor. There's a hemisphere that deals with how do you generate the income that you're going to convert into assets. The other hemisphere is the asset. So you already know in this hemisphere, you need to build an asset that will cash flow, that will take care of you and your family for the rest of your life, that will fund God's purpose for your life. You already have that. See, but you need this hemisphere to be able to feed, to funnel cash into this hemisphere. That's what we're doing tonight. Because the big problem is that some of us we're not generating cash that we can convert into assets that will further multiply and generate more cash. So we have stagnant hemisphere. We just have this one that we have here, but we don't have anything that we are that we are flowing into it. So own what enables it and then systemize whatever repeats. Money is everywhere. Wealth is positional. Pause, spot patterns, position yourself. And then let this year, when we meet in December, check-in, monthly check-in in December, and then I ask for your success stories. I want to hear that this has been your best year ever, spiritually, financially, and in terms of your relationship, because I'm interested in those areas. I don't just want you to make money. I want you to have a good home, a good marriage. I want you to have good relationship with your children and with your neighbors. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be spiritually fit because you have a purpose. Listen, making money without a purpose is terrible. It will create a lot of depression. But when you really begin to enjoy the journey of wealth, is when you know who you are, you know why you are here, and then you know the sort of things that you are called, the way that you're called to serve other people. Then making money becomes a very, very sweet journey. It's not supposed to be a hustling, difficult, whatever that many of us have made it to be. It's actually a very sweet, delicate, beautiful journey. But you have to be spiritually fit, you have to be financially fit, you have to be relationally fit, you have to be intellectually fit, and I think I've mentioned spiritual fitness. So let 2026 remember you differently once you are in the financial fitness challenge. So what I want you to do immediately after this, I'm still going to come back to this and then give you time to do that while we are here, is from all the things that you've heard now, and then all the aha moments that you have heard, how are you going to implement this insight? Just tell me one or two things that you're going to do as a result of this. And I have mentioned quite a number of things. What's one or two actions you're going to take starting today based on everything that we have talked about? Okay, so I'm going to pause and then we can take questions and I can do some spot coaching. And yeah, so I can take whatever questions and then we can also talk about whatever challenges that you are having in the group. And so this is a time for me to listen to you and to coach you. But was this helpful, somebody? Was this deep dive helpful? Okay, very good. So I'd like to know how it has helped you and then what you're going to do about it immediately after this. Okay, I give you a form. Let me see if I can find it briefly. I gave you a form to ask your questions. So let me see what questions came in there. Okay. All right, so I'm reading, I can see a couple of questions here. Let me see. Let me share that. All right, so let's take it one by one. Can you confirm that you can see my screen? Yeah, just do thumbs up if you can see my screen. Can you all see my screen? Just thumbs up. I just need one thumbs up. Okay, great. Thanks, Felicia. Okay, so the first question here, my current challenge is how to maintain my portfolio integrity while at the same time taking advantage of good emerging opportunities. As one who is well over 50, I'm basically focused on preservation in income and control growth. How should one play? That's a very excellent question. And I think I've already touched on it on what we talked about today. So what you want to do is, in your portfolio, you need to have the core assets, the core stocks that you continue to accumulate. Some people call it your defensive stocks that you don't touch. you might want to allocate based on your objective of income preservation and all that. So you might want to allocate as much as 60 to 70% to that. You continue to buy, to build. It doesn't matter what the price. These are dividend paying stocks. So if you think about my favorite, which is Presco, you think about Dangote Cement, you think about one like PZ, UAC, Aradel, GT Bank, Zenith, a couple of those that I have. So you continue to build that. The other thing to bear in mind is that you will not necessarily be able to take advantage of all the opportunities in the market. The good thing is that there are always opportunities in the market. Your North Star becomes what your investment objective is, and you stick to it. I have seen opportunities, and at that time, I didn't have the income to take advantage of it. But I was already in other opportunities that I was very happy about. So don't feel bad when you can't take advantage of every opportunity. Just stick to your objective. Stick to those defensive stocks, and then put some money in the growth stocks. Like, if you did tip last year, early last year, when it was 2 naira, tip did 16 naira something today. So if you put 2 million for a million of tip, January last year, you were 16 million richer today. So that's one thing about the growth stocks. The growth stocks are good. When they do well, they perform extremely well, the penny stocks. But when they fail, they also fail fantastically. So you have a mix of those. And then don't look at other people's play. So for me as a coach, I'll continue to share opportunities, but not every opportunity is for everybody. If it matches your own investment objective, then you do it. If it doesn't, focus on your portfolio. Don't worry about it. There will always be opportunities. The second thing is, challenge yourself to also add some additional sources of income where you can play a little bit more with some growth stocks, try things, some more risky assets, while at the same time consolidating your core asset. Everyday money concept. How do one achieve everyday money online? Yeah, so we have, I don't know how many of you have, or really take time to go through the videos, your curriculum has, I think it's session 7 or so, has a lot on everyday money online. So I will encourage you to go through that video. It's a part of what you paid for in Financial Fitness Challenge. Would you advise to hold Access Bank shares as they pay good dividends or sell to buy another stock? Access Bank is actually a good one. So give them some time. Since I joined, I have not grasped anything reasonable. Point. I am a novice. I don't know where to start or who to ask. I asked about the stockbroker to register with Atlas Brook portfolio was suggested to me. I registered, it told me they will get back to me after 70 working days. I got stopped. Okay, my interest was in buying stocks and then the broker helping me in tracking the ones I bought that I don't know how to. Also, I need to be buying small with the salary. Okay. So I think the main challenge, there are too many things here, but I think the main challenge is to get your account opened. I'm not sure what difficulty you are having with opening with Atlas. Atlas is in the group, and then there's also a customer care that you can contact. They have a customer care email. They also have a WhatsApp. And please be very patient. And then when you're dealing with this, but they're also human beings. So be very mindful of your language. And because if there's any partner to keep happy, it's your stockbroker. It's a stockbroker. I make sure I have very good relationship. These are people, building my wealth. And then to be honest, they don't really just be cautious. They are human beings. They are dealing with so many things. And then many times opening that account is not really the speed of your account being open does not really depend on them. If it's them, they will just give you an account within 10 minutes or something. But they still have to negotiate the CSCS. That's really many times where the where the delay happens, and they don't control CSCS, the Central Securities Clearing System. They don't control that. And then sometimes CSCS will tell you that their system is down. There's nothing the stockbroker can do about it. So while waiting for your account, be very patient and be very cautious, because sometimes I see the language some of us use. Look at those people as they are your partners. They're your partners, helping you and all that. So be patient and continue to contact them and be patient with them, because many times it is not their fault. Coach has been talking about mutual fund and asset market. What are they all about? Please, I need an education. Okay, so what you can do is, I honestly like this opportunity for one to air. Okay, so I don't know who asked this question, whether you're here. So after this, once I'm done with the last one, I would like you to come up and then express yourself a little bit more. But generally, please, everyone take advantage of the community. Take advantage of the community. We have very, very helpful community. Ask whatever question, ask your question there, and then be patient. Let someone help you. Whatever you don't understand, ask. Ask in the team. I believe somebody will help you. I have tried to invest in some stocks suggested by a coach. I'm currently working on an ebook for sale. The major problem is now cash flow. My monthly paycheck cannot do much. I need to figure out something about everyday money. All right. So first of all, go through the everyday money module. I believe it is, let me see. And I think it has a worksheet as well that helps you to do that. Let me see. Okay, let's see. I need to edit. I believe it is module. I believe it's module 7. Where is financial fitness challenge? I encourage you to take advantage of the learning portal, which is available for you. Take advantage of it. Yeah. So many of you joined, but you have not actually taken time to go through the video courses. And then the person talking about not knowing where to start, you haven't gone through this, because this program actually tells you exactly where to start. So the thing is that you just joined, you've not watched the videos, you're not following the program, and they're there asking questions that these things have carefully answered. So you can't come there and say, oh, these things, these terminologies people are using, I don't understand it. I hope I'll catch up. The videos are there. Start from the first one. What is financial fitness challenge? The foundations for your financial fitness journey. Go through it. This is a checklist. Define your financial, rebuild your money IQ. 7 simple ways to make money. They are all there for you. The basics. The discussion group on Telegram is just for you to be able to implement and ask people as you're implementing. This is it. How to stop making money and build your systems inside is all there. And then we talked about the financial markets, understanding the financial market. So that question you were asking, you don't know what asset is, you don't know what the meanings of, they are all there. That's what you paid for. And you have access to the learning portal. It's all here. The everyday money system that you're asking for, it's there. Break free from the monthly pay trap. The everyday money blueprint, how to start earning today. From these things are there. AI money machines, using AI to make money. All these questions are there. So, but I think that you need to spend some time. You need to give time to your finances. When you haven't gone through that, then you appear confused. So go through those videos. Okay. I tried to buy Zichis and still have not succeeded. Also, January seems most stocks are high. I also tried to buy Zichis, but I think those guys are playing games. It was listed at 1 naira 81 kobo or something like that. But then every time you buy, even if you bid for the highest for the day, there's no Zichis stocks to buy. So I kept some money to buy that. But when I just saw that they're playing games, I left them. I left them and I invested the money in something else. Whenever they finish running, they will come down. They are hoarding it. They are deliberately hoarding it. So the stocks are not there, to buy. So it's unfortunate that that is happening. For me, I decided to move on. I have Presco, I have Okomu, I have Ella Lakes. So before Zichis catches up with all this, so I was just interested in it because the company is really very good, playing a very good setup, but I think they still have a lot of proving to do, for themselves and all that. I attended virtually, I attended the listing event, and that company still needs to do a lot to find this fit. So we might not be able to enter Zichis right now, but at some point, the people who are holding the stocks, would get tired, and then they start selling, and then people can come in then based on how that company has proved themselves. So don't worry about that. Use it and buy something else. Yes. So, and like you said, January, I kept saying it in November and December that was the best time to buy. But looks like the stock market too is showing a mind of its own at this time, because the prices are not even responding the way that veterans in the market expected it to respond. So results are coming out, and then the market is so indifferent to the results. It's funny. Like Vitafoam, I was shocked. Markets were just so indifferent. Fantastic result. And then they're also giving a bonus. I think they are closing their register for the bonus and the dividends on, I believe it's 6th of February or something. And people are just, the market is just, it has a mind of its own. So that's why the most important thing for you as an investor is to always focus on companies with very excellent fundamentals. So it doesn't matter what the market thinks, that company is still there. You invest in companies, the business.